So he faces off at the end against Quirrell, right? Doesn't he say, like, by the way, that was me fucking with your broom, and Snape was actually trying to help you.
Yeah, he does say that, yes.
So, and then I was like, wait, but Snape at this point, right, he's supposed to be already a spy with Voldemort. He's already supposed to be, like, infiltrated with Voldemort, right? Like Voldemort...
Yep.
So I was like, so if Quirrell knows and says that Snape was actually trying to help Harry against what Quirrell was doing to his broom, wouldn't they then think, like, what the fuck, he's on Harry's side? Wouldn't they, like, think, like, you know...
Well, but here's the other thing, too, as well, though, is if they killed Harry, then there'd be no way of them ever getting the Philosopher's Stone.
That is the thing that actually saved the continuity, I think, because in a later scene in the library, Snape is like, this is when, like, Harry's, like, creeping around in the library, and he's like, what did they ask for just then?
Nice work, Harry.
Oh, okay, they just wanted some beans.
Here's a wizard card.
But
Hope you don't have this one
so we get a wizard card for that. But what's it called? So yeah, in a later scene, like Harry's like got the invisibility cloak, and he's going in the library and all that to look for this book on the Philosopher's Stone, and he pretty much runs into Snape, sort of scolding Quirrell.
Yeah.
And so you see, like, Snape, like, pretty much slamming Quirrell against the wall, going like, "For fuck's sake, Quirrell, I'll have your head for this," or something, you know, like he's sort of really scolding him and sort of disciplining him. And
he says some people have to find out where their allegiances lie. I think
exactly.
That's what he says.
Yes. So,
which is actually, if you think about it,
it sort of did make sense again.
It did, because he's talking
what he was saying was
as
like,
if his...
Yeah, like, because he was basically just saying, like, you fucked up by, like, you poked your head out, literally or figuratively, you know, because fucking Voldemort's, like, on the back of his head. And he's saying, like, don't fuck with Harry's broom like that, because that's gonna ruin shit for us. And, like, it works in both ways, because he's like... In one way, he has to actually save Harry, but now he's actually turning it around to make himself look good in front of Voldemort as well, by going like, "Oh, this is compromising shit for the worse for us, because we shouldn't be doing shit like that." So now he's actually made it look to Voldemort like it was a proper thing, like it was a good thing for Voldemort that he was keeping Quirrell from killing him on the broom. While at the same time also working for the other side by actually, you know, saving Harry. And then, you know...
because it seems like it's talking about Dumbledore and Hogwarts, like, your allegiances are to Dumbledore, that kind of thing. Which, that scene makes no sense unless you, like, at that point in time.
Yeah, at that point in time, it makes no sense unless you know what happens, like, way after that.
Yeah.
The only thing that at the time, as a viewer, you get from that, without knowing the rest of it, is that Snape just looked really suspicious, talking to Quirrell. But the one thing is, right, there's this way, I know I'm like overanalyzing this like it's like a serious thing, but like, he's like got Quirrell pushed up against the wall, right? And Quirrell's like really worried, like, "Oh my god, what the fuck, Snape, you know, back off." But then he sort of looks like to the side towards where Harry is standing under the cloak, and he's like, and he like goes back and forth between Snape and the cloak, and he's like, you know, like they're sort of still on the same team, you know, like, "Oh my god, look over there, I think there's someone spying on us," you know, like, so that sort of still insinuated that they were sort of part of the same sort of team. Because
but the
because he was
thing
trying to give
like,
away to Snape, like, "Oh, someone's spying on us," you know, like,
yes,
and that's when Snape like tries to grab for the cloak. I wonder, by the way, because Snape he misgrabs the cloak, right? Like he grabs for the cloak.
He grabs for the general direction, but doesn't grab it.
Yeah,
right?
but I wonder if he misgrabs on purpose. Like if he then because he's going like, right, there's probably someone there. It might be Harry Potter, but I want to now brush this off, because if I do unmask him, then this is gonna create a whole bunch of more conflict. Because then he'd be alone with Quirrell and Harry, and maybe they do shit to him. I don't know.
But the other odd thing about that as well is at the end of the film, when he's saying, if it wasn't for Snape muttering his counter curse, I would have had you there, right? But it's like Quirrell doesn't understand what's going on.
That's
maybe
the thing,
he's
yeah.
maybe
because
Quirrell
is his
not
own
in
person.
On it. Yeah.
Well, he is in on it, but he's just he's a shitty host. Like, he's sort of a retarded person that, he's the host of Voldemort, but he's actually kind of a shitty. He's not very talented, or he doesn't really. He tries to appease Voldemort by trying to kill Harry, but then Snape sort of reprimands him for being like, this is actually not helping us at all. But it works in two ways.
Okay, but why would Voldemort pick a useful if he wants someone to be the host for him?
Well, that's the thing.
Wouldn't he just pick why would he make someone Snape or someone really talented and useful?
That's the thing that I was asking myself. I don't know if it was a completely opportunistic thing at the time, that he was so weak that he went for the first host that he could pretty much find, or that he actually needs a sort of a weaker person in order to be able to take on part of their body, so to speak. Like a stronger person Snape, he couldn't actually be on the back of his head because he's too sort of strong a person to sort of be able to host someone else or whatever.
But Snape's also very useful though. You're not gonna want to compromise Snape though. Snape's involved in the school. He's got the trust of everyone. Why would you want to be on the back of his head?
Yeah. Well, no. I didn't mean Snape. I'm just using him as an example.
But the other thing about Quirrell is Quirrell was somehow Quirrell did become the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher with Voldemort on his head, right?
Yeah.
So because at the start of Harry Potter 1, it appears that this is his first year teaching.
Well,
Dark Arts.
That's the thing that stood out to me right away. Is at least in the Dutch version, because I was watching the Dutch version purely for nostalgia.
Yeah.
And he said, Percy or someone said to Harry, because Harry was like, what's Snape fucking all about? Oh no, who's that next to Quirrell? Because he'd already met Quirrell in the bar with Hagrid. And Percy or whatever, one of the Weasleys was saying oh, that's Professor Snape. I shouldn't stall here, by the way. So this, I don't know if this is continuity-wise is in line with the books or movies, by the way, because the game seems a lot of the time to be the viewer, they don't actually know the continuity. So sometimes they make Snape appear more evil than he is in the film, here.
Where am I?
Oh, right.
He fucks Harry over by fucking with the bridge. But so what I was saying, so he's Harry was asking about who's that. So and the Weasley guy says oh, that's Snape. He's been gunning for Quirrell's job for years. So that implies that Quirrell has had that job for a long time, apparently.
Oh, see, I forget, because I remember he was just saying he's been after. Yeah, no, he does say that he's been after Quirrell's job for years now. Which does that means though that Quirrell would have already been working there before he became evil, right?
Possibly. I don't know what the timeline was on Voldemort, using him as a vessel.
Yeah. But even but that
because isn't there a scene as well, in Harry Potter 1 in the Dark Forest where or the Forbidden Forest, maybe in the English version, I'm not sure, like where they're in the woods and they literally see Voldemort feeding on a unicorn or something.
Yeah, but what I didn't get about that scene is does Voldemort, is he still on Quirrell at that point, or is he like some kind of floating entity?
Yeah, and I was also like, what the fuck are they? Because like in the sort of lore of the film,
I think that's the Molly.
they're like, nobody's even sure if Voldemort still exists or if he's or if he's dead or whatever.
Yeah.
But now they're fucking seeing him in the forest right there. Why is no one fucking doing something about it? Why is no one fucking calling the authorities, grabbing him, whatever, you know? Because he's apparently quite weak.
Doesn't the centaur like, beat
tells
the fuck out of him?
The centaur tells them, what I recall from the Dutch version, he says, hij is op sterven na dood, which means, to translate it literally, like, with the exception of dying, he's dead. That's sort of a Dutch expression. Like, he's dead except for the fact that he's not died yet. You know? So, like, that's how close to death he is.
They said something about how every time he eats he's cursed. He lives a cursed life or something.
Yeah, he's really weak and he needs the blood of unicorns in order to even keep existing.
But apparently to kill a unicorn, it curses you to a half-life.
Oh, does it? I really don't remember.
That's what they say.
Part. That's the thing.
He says it is like.
Because I was.
Because I think what happens is you drink unicorn blood and it halves your lifespan or something.
Jesus, why would anyone do that, then?
Because it can save you if you're on the brink of death. It can stop you from dying.
Oh, but then it doesn't halve your life. It lengthens your life, if anything.
Yeah, but say if you're 40 years old or something like that, then you drink the unicorn. Say you're gonna live to 90.
Yeah, but you weren't. That's the thing. You weren't gonna live to 90 if you hadn't drunk it. You were actually gonna die.
That's what he says in the movie. He says it's a half-life, a cursed life.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, like physiologically, I guess in that universe that might be true. Like. This, by the way, is like a really arbitrary, like, platform thing all of a sudden thrown in, where, like, you're jumping on these platforms and they sort of, which, again, it's like piss easy though, but like they drop after you stand on them, like they sort of fall down. Which is like a... Oh, no. Oh, fuck.
That first movie is really interesting when you just take it on like as its own separate entity. Like if you don't look at the following films and just take the first movie as it is, it's so odd.
Yeah, but it's also quite interesting seeing it like at this point in time, like after you know sort of all the lore from the later film. But that's the thing. Like I was watching it today, but I only got up to like less than halfway because Judd was over. So like a friend of mine was over.
My question about it is though, you know when they say that Snape's been after the dark arts job for years now. If he's meant to be just a spy by Voldemort, why would he really care what job he was doing there?
Ow. Wow, the ghost actually hurt you.
So is he
what do you mean?
Is he really deep? Well, is he like really deep in character that he's convincing everyone that he wants the dark arts job? Because apparently everyone seems to think he wants that job.
Yeah, but I think he may actually want that. Why would that be a lie? Why would that be a trick?
Well, because he's just there as like a spy of Dumbledore, but also Voldemort, but also to protect Harry.
No, he's not there just as a spy. Like he has his own life. Like he does like his job at Hogwarts. I mean, he does want sort of a job at Hogwarts, and he has his own. The thing is, the only reason he's helping Harry in the first place is because he's friends with. The reason he's helping Harry most of the time is, and it's quite hard for him to even, you know, to sort of overcome his hatred of Harry because of the fact that he's so much like James Potter, like his father, who always bullied Snape and you know, took away his sort of the love of his life, so to speak, even though they never had anything going on. But yeah, the thing that makes him help Harry is because he's like, you know, that's what his mother would have wanted. You know, he's doing it for Lily Potter. I think that's
that scene in the last movie is like, sure, it's like a bit expository, but the bit where you see like his memories, Snape's memories, that is an excellent scene.
I never saw that film. I've never seen that film actually. I've read the books. I've read the books, so I feel like
that last film is probably my favorite of the whole lot.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, it's really good.
I remember being over at someone's place once, and I think it was Deathly Hallows Part 1, maybe Part 2. It was like just this really flashy, annoying battle scene at Hogwarts where there was just sparks flying and just a bunch of stupid effects where like people were basically using their wands as guns, and I didn't like it at all.
That never happened. That kind of happened. But
where all of Hogwarts is pretty much blowing up and everything, and like people, and someone dies. I think one of the Georges, either Fred or George dies or something at that point.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know. Isn't that what the whole series was building up to? Like a big wizard battle?
No. That's just like the stupid fucking orc battles and everything in Lord of the Rings. It's just a bunch of Hollywood production values, but it's really lame.
I don't know. The focus was really not on that so much because, yeah, sure, that happened, but the way they killed... It wasn't even Harry who kills Voldemort. It was Neville.
Yeah, but this is... No, but that's just talking about the pure plot points of the book as well, though. This is not so much... the film.
Yeah, I also liked the scene in the sort of purgatory as well.
Did you read the books before you saw the film?
Yeah, but I can't remember. I read that book like 8-9 years ago now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I read the book way before the film came out, but still, sort of. I feel like the general gist of it sort of stayed fairly well in my mind, except, and I mean, I thought Harry was hateable at that point as well, while I was reading the books. And I guess by the time I got to book 7, I think it was 7, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is starting to look really like childish all of a sudden. Like the book seemed like really written in quite a childish way, but at the same time, you know, as it went on, it was like trying too hard to be edgy, which I feel like is definitely the case with Harry Potter. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Harry Potter 1 and 2, they're the worst. Like they're like the pansy Harry Potters, you know, they're for kids. But after that it gets dark, it gets edgy, but it's not even as good if you ask me, like, because it's just trying to be more edgy with like sort of, I don't know, like the first 2 ones are definitely the best if you ask me. Like they actually have that sort of, they have a really nice atmospheric, oh for fuck's sake, atmospheric feel to them.
Oh look, I definitely like the first 2. I think they've definitely got a place in my heart, but
before Michael Gambon.
Yeah, that's right. Richard Harris is the best Dumbledore. He is. I still liked him. I still like him much better. I don't see how they.
Oh my god, it's Flubberworm Mucus, by the way. Jesus, fuck, that was in Harry Potter 2 as well. And I kept making like.
Yeah, but
shitty jokes.
I couldn't see the original Dumbledore like living that long, and even still like, you know, doing all those stuff that's required of him.
What do you mean, like? Canon-wise, or like the actor?
The actor. I don't think the original actor of Dumbledore could be. You know, I don't think. Okay, first of all, how do they really expect him to be alive in like 15 years time, or 10 years time?
Jesus, was it that long?
Yeah, between films, the first one was 2001, the last one was 2011.
Well, that's not 15 years, is it?
Well, I said 10 years.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Yeah, you get the point.
The texturing, by the way, like it's like a weird thing with EA games at the time. They had this really good team in the early 2000s where, because the thing is, this was developed by KnowWonder, the same guys who also did Brother Bear, my most watched Let's Play yet my shittiest one.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, even though KnowWonder developed this, I think EA Games sort of had its own in-house, like just looking at the textures from their other games that they published at the time. I think they had sort of their own in-house texturing team, like artists.
It does look that way, doesn't it? Like, I definitely know that early 2000s EA game feel that this game definitely has. Like those Need for Speed games, those have the exact same feel to them.
You were the fucking one. I did fucking that one part of Clive Barker's Undying, if you remember that. Maybe not from the name alone.
I don't think I remember.
Remember, it was like set in this, like you were playing as this weird Irish guy, or someone like it was someone putting on an Irish accent, and you went to this like guy's mansion.
Oh yes, I do remember this game.
Yeah, and you know you had these weird half magical powers or something, and I think I actually need to wait for the ghost to come through there and to go under there. But yeah, so you remember the game that I'm talking about, right? Like you have sort of a vivid
I do.
memory of what it looked like as well?
Yes.
Because yeah, so like, don't you reckon the texturing was quite similar in a way to this?
Yeah, I can see that, definitely.
And another one was Alice, American McGee's Alice, which I did a Let's Play of with Rob.
Yes.
So, well, you probably haven't seen that, though.
I think I saw 1 or 2 parts of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's quite a good Let's Play, the parts that we did of it at least. But
what's your best Let's Play to date?
Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Is it Max Payne?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like the ones with Rob, they do tend to be my favorite, but they're always the least popular ones.
Rob is not a very popular guy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because a lot of people actually come over from... Well, actually, it may partially have to do with the fact that his mic used to be shit. I actually got him to buy a condenser mic, by the way. His quality of microphone is now better than all of his.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
I've just got an off-the-shelf crappy headset. Well, it's not that crappy. It's just an off-the-shelf headset microphone.
Yeah, with headsets, I always feel like you're paying way more than you would do for like a way better headphone and a way better microphone separately.
Possibly. I mean, I only paid like $100 Australian for this.
A further 3 points from Gryffindor should teach you a lesson.
Late
I
again.
see you've collected a few challenge stars, but I'm afraid they have no value in my classroom.
Oh, so we
It's
did
like
actually
that
collect all the
Lesson
challenge
well,
stars, but
the other students are off
no
to the
value
Halloween
here.
feast. Join them if you must.
Oh, it's Halloween.
What's that ELO song again? It's
I wonder why he's not at the Halloween feast. It seems like right up his
I
alley.
wonder. It does.
A huge troll is on the rampage. He's cornered Hermione in the girls' toilet.